Well, hi there, Internet. My name's Court, and you've got courtside seats for my review of Atomic Blonde. Let's get it. Sorry. Atomic Blonde is a spy thriller directed by David Leitch and is based on the 2012 graphic novel The Coldest City by Antony Johnston and Sam Hart. The film stars Charlize Theron, James McAvoy, John Goodman, Toby Jones, Sofia Boutella, Bill Skarsgard, and Randall Tarley. An undercover MI6 agent is sent to Berlin during the Cold War to investigate the murder of a fellow agent and recover a missing list of double agents. So yeah, it's the knock list. Now before we get going, let me just say I'm a huge fan of Charlize Theron. I think she's an amazingly talented woman. She can do pretty much anything. And based on the trailers, I was really looking forward to this movie. And I gotta say...
No, sir, I didn't like it.
But you know what, let's talk about the good first. The acting. There isn't a bad performance in this movie. There isn't a single performance that took me out of the film. Everybody does what is necessary for the film. Charlize Theron is locked in. Unfortunately, as good of an actress as she is, the dialogue is so bad that she's really much better when she's not speaking and just either smoldering or kicking ass. Now, Charlize Theron, from what I've read, trained like crazy. I think she even trained alongside Keanu Reeves when he was getting ready to make John Wick 2, and it really shows. There are a bunch of fight scenes where you can tell it's Charlize Theron and not a stunt double. And after pretty much only writhing, screaming, and turning into a cloud in The Mummy, it's nice to see Sofia Boutella getting to say words. That's a novel approach. And I gotta say, you know, hers was pretty much the only character in this movie that I liked. Now, I tend to struggle with action movies. I always have. I mean, I have nothing against action, but I really need to like the characters before I can care about the action. If I don't like the characters, there are no stakes. And I find a lot of action movies really just focus on their action beats and don't focus on their characters. Like I said, Charlize Theron absolutely brings it in this movie, but I just didn't care. I didn't care about her character. I didn't really care about the plot. So the action just, while it was very good, and I'll get to that in a minute, it just really didn't do anything for me. And yes, the action in this movie is really good. There are a couple of fight sequences that are so well choreographed and timed and executed. It was really impressive for me from a technical point of view, but from a storytelling point of view, I didn't care. Now the soundtrack is very 80s. So I'm mixed on it. I love a lot of music from the 80s, but I also hate a lot of music from the 80s. If you love 80s music, you'll probably really like the soundtrack. There's also this tragic moment in the movie. Tragic if you care what's going on, which I didn't. But so they decide to play this like moody synth version of, I can't even say it without laughing, 99 Luftballon. I don't know why I said that in a French accent. And I gotta say, after they played that, I saw this movie with a buddy and both of us just laughed out loud. It was so dumb. Now the score, on the other hand, by a guy named Tyler Bates is really cool. It's really synth heavy and it sets a good tone for the movie. I enjoyed that. There's also a really cool sequence with umbrellas. My biggest problem with this movie is that it was boring. It was boring, it was overlong, the plot was like really complex, and I like complex plots, I find them very interesting, but for me, I had trouble following it just because I was so bored very early on in the movie. I was kind of tuning out, and so I'm sure I missed like a lot of details just because I was fantasizing about when this movie would end. Now the editing, I'm really mixed on this. The cutting between scenes and dialogue was very visceral and added like a much needed urgency to the movie. So I guess the editing was good. Then again, at 2 hours in runtime for a movie that could easily have been 85 minutes and a movie that had approximately 39 endings, yeah, I think the editing was bad. I'm so torn. And I'm not exaggerating. This movie just keeps ending. Like, okay, this is the end. Nope. All right, this is definitely, no, okay. Character says like a badass line, draws on a cigarette and exhales, and a killer song comes on. I'm like, and credits. This thing is still going. Look, Atomic Blonde could have been a lot better of a film if it had had some judicious editing, because there were some really cool things happening in it. But in the end, it was an overlong slog that was just boring and kind of pointless. It's pretty to look at. There's some quality punching and some sweet ass kicking, but there's not a lot of substance there, and there was not a lot to keep me going throughout. Now, I don't have a proprietary rating system as of yet, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to give Atomic Blonde, and I think I'm going to give Atomic Blonde a out of 10. But now I want to know, what do you guys think? Have you guys seen Atomic Blonde? Are you looking forward to it? Have you read the graphic novel? If you have, how is that? Whatever your thoughts, hit the comments below and let's discuss. If you enjoyed this review, please smash that like button and give it a share if you really enjoyed the video. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews, trailer reactions, entertainment news, all that kind of good stuff, you can do so by clicking the Courtshake logo at the bottom right of your screen. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.